What's up, everyone? I could have opened this packet before I click go live, but I'm sorry. Sorry I didn't. Y'all don't need to be seeing me mix my Kool-Aid, but for some reason, I just feel like I got to get into the video and get my drink on. And that's my Kool-Aid. Anyway, I got to have something, because sometimes I don't even drink it. That's the weird part. But I have to have it ready, have to have it on deck. All right, so in this video, I want it to be quick. I really do. It'll only be as long as you guys participate. So I'm going to talk about just the markets. And we're going to talk about that Airbnb. I got it right there. No, right there. And we are going to talk about DoorDash, man. Yeah, those two IPOs. That's And one I like, one I don't. And we're going to talk about Neo real quick. Because there's something, I'm like, huh? And we'll talk about Disney, they report earnings from Costco. We just talk about what's going on. So go ahead and join it. And if you want to come live with me, the link is in the description below. All right. So first, I kind of like get on here and doing my shares and stuff like that. But so just give me a minute to get in the video. Hopefully I could do it quick today. It should be quick. I got two of you guys in here. So what's up, man? How y'all doing? I still think the market's going to go higher. Yeah, get rid of that. Let me get this link in here. Copy that. Come over here. Put that there. Twitter, bullish. Yeah, put bullish. Okay, yeah, I just shared it out on Stock Twits. All right, so before we get into all of that, back to the StreamYard. Let's get back to what is up. I don't know, FinViz. All right, so y'all know I like starting off here. It was kind of just a crazy market day. The last couple of days has been like, yesterday I was like, wow. But you know what? I think it was a buying time. I think anytime the market's going down, at least from now to year end, maybe mid-January, when you have, what is that small cap rally? I forget what it's called. Not the Santa Claus rally, but I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, but generally, I think we're good until at least inauguration. You know what I mean? And then but something makes me think we're gonna have a sell-off going into maybe the last week of Christmas. And I'm the first one to say it, because if Biden does raise taxes, I think people are gonna want to sell and reposition some of their portfolio and maybe get out of some high flyers and definitely lock in that lower tax rate on capital gains. So I think that may happen. It would just seem it has to. And then if he were to lower the corporate, if he were to raise the corporate taxes, all right, if Trump lowered the corporate taxes and we had this rip your face off type rally, and Biden were to put it back, wouldn't that be a rip your face off decline? I don't know. Just keep that in the back of your head. Just something about that. You know what I mean? So you would figure, right? You would figure. Anyway, so it's just something to think about. So anyway, that's that. Even though NASDAQ was nice, and it was mostly those I think those COVID stocks. I don't even know what you call them. Back to, you know what I'm saying. They sold them off yesterday. They bought them back today. The stocks dominant is Google and Facebook. Facebook, I kind of sold a little bit of Facebook and got back into Google. And I don't know. Facebook has got all these, legislation, these problems. I mean, I think it goes a lot higher, but it's just it's disappointing. And I think people knew. I'm going to bring up Facebook real quick. I think people knew, because this stock has just been acting up for look, it's been in a range since August, even before the other FANG stocks for the most part been in a range. And look, it's just not looking good. By the way, another stock that's not looking good? Amazon. It just looks like it wants to break. I mean, we're at critical levels right now. Okay. This thing needs to, it's all good right now, but I'm just watching it and it just looks like it wants to break lower. All right. I want to see it pop above that trend line. I want to see a higher high happen, one of these candles, so, but if you look at the monthly on it, it's not too bad. It's just a bull flag, right? Not too bad. So I think we look good on the monthly, but the dailies is, It's making me worry. All right, so let's get into this video because it's in the title. Airbnb IPO today. What was the IPO price? It was $68. I think it was $68. Go to the 15. And no, let's go to the 30-minute. Am I on Airbnb? That's what happens when you go live. What was I looking at earlier? The hourly. Let me see something. Give me a minute. That's what happens when you go live. I had a nice screen up. Maybe I'll go to the 30 minutes. Anyway, not bad action. I could have sworn you gotta forgive me. I had some screen up a little bit ago, and I was like, wow, it wasn't bad, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe it wasn't so bad. Look at that candle right there. Look how it closed. And I can't. There we go. There we go. I guess I just can't make it too tight. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. For some reason, when I looked at it earlier, it looked like it was way up here. Am I looking at the right stock? I don't know what the hell is going on. You know what? I know what it was. It was Dash. My bad. My bad. I didn't like the way Airbnb traded today, but it's an IPO. You got to wait to buy those things for about a week, right? So here's the DoorDash. That's what it is. My bad. I just got them confused. I'm not, this one, even though I think this is the worst of the two, I think DoorDash goes a lot lower. I mean, the economy's going back. I mean, remember, Uber wanted to get rid of Uber Eats before all the COVID stuff. I mean, once we come back, I think, why would we want to? I don't know if we're going to be using DoorDash like that. I think right now it's peak DoorDash. And then from now on, it just goes down. So I don't know why it's up. It's something I don't see. I know I'm not looking at numbers. I'm just kind of thinking of common sense. But I don't know. I don't like the DoorDash. But anyway, the stock is trading pretty well. I mean, it's almost getting to the all-time high, which was just yesterday, of 195.5. I mean, so and we could compare this to what was that? Airbnb. So like it almost closed at its high yesterday, and then today it dipped down and then started to close at the highs of the day. It just seems like it wants to push up. So I don't know. I'm like, wow. I can't even say. It's just not my cup of thing. You can't trade these things. But you know what? If this thing were to break 195.5 and start making new highs, hey, you might be able to get in for a trade. It might go higher. Actually, I think it should go higher. I think people will actually start piling on, thinking they're going to miss the train. Right? Oh my gosh, this is going here. And people just, but I don't know. I don't know why this one traded that way. So now let's bring up Airbnb. And it's like the opposite. You can see how weak this one looks. See how weak it closed. Okay, I'm looking for more data, but I forget this is only 1 day versus the 2 days, right? Kind of big pop in the beginning. Sorry for you guys that bought up there. You guys up here. I'm sure somebody. Why can't I draw a circle? Anyway, maybe it's too close to the edge of the screen. You guys right there. Sorry. But you know what? I do think if you can hold on, if you're in it for the long haul, I do think we get up there one day. I don't know when. Shoot, it could be tomorrow. Who knows? But I thought this traded weak. Got that even H pattern. Looks like this wants to break down and go lower. So that's it's not a lot of data to look at when you're looking at these things, right? But we know I know nobody watching me got in at the IPO price. So you guys made some nice money. I mean, they just give that money. It's like free money, if you can get a hold of those IPOs. But this is where it traded at. So up to 165. And my thing with all of these is just like I said with DoorDash, and I know it's this one is hard because it's so far away. To me, you definitely want to get in if it breaks the high. I think because it's going to go higher, and I don't know how low it will go for you to get in, but I think this is one to be in. This one I see the potential. I see, like, I don't see it in DoorDash, but I see it in Airbnb. I mean, it's a verb. I mean, is it that like, hey, let's get this Airbnb or whatever. You know what I mean? It's part of our vocabulary. So I see this. I see this one actually working up, and that's looking at no numbers. I'm just kind of talking common sense there. All right, I want to talk about, so those are those two. You got to be careful with any IPOs. You should just actually just watch them. You know what I mean? Like, if we pull up Snow, and I can show you how I trade these things. Let's pull up the when it first opened up. See how it was up here, right? And it kind of went down. It was trading sideways. I tried to get in somewhere over here. I totally forgot. Messed up my watch list. But here, see, I'm going to draw that high, right? And then look, see how it broke? I know it came back down, but that's generally what, and look how it's a lot higher. Even though you got in at the high, the thing will go higher. Okay, it went from basically that breakout 319 to 429. That's 110 points. So that's I love trading that way. Just wait for it to break the high, and then people get on. I don't know what happened right here, but generally it'll break. It'll come back to the point and then take off, right? So Snow, I think Snow still looks like, from the little data we got, I still think it goes higher. This looks very bullish right here. It looks like it's getting ready to bounce and do its thing. Look at the volume coming in. Look at the volume on this 4-hour chart here versus anywhere on the chart since it's been starting to trade. So it's like you got a lot of activity, things coming in. The stochastic is starting to point up. You got the crossover going. So everything looks pretty good. Big candles, big bodies, big emotion for it to go higher. I mean, you got your, basically, I like this point right here, right? That first high. I really think that says a lot. But if you can come over here, here's that support right there. What is that? Where am I at? 335. And there's your bogey. If it goes lower than that, I guess you can get out. But if it definitely hits there, if you're not in yet, man, I think that's the time to get in. Snow, it's still expensive. Okay, but I don't think people care. I don't think they care about the snow. I don't think they care about the expense. Why am I going to drink this when I could have been drinking it when I was off camera. Nobody cares. It's the weirdest market ever. Valuations are all out the window. You just buy what goes up, you sell what goes down. And that's that. There's the playbook. There is the stock playbook. I got a lot of people in here. I'm sorry I've been annoying all your comments. Cashmatic, you're always in here. What's up? Babe, she's in here. Where did you get? No, I don't get IPO money. I'm a nobody. I was even listening to CNBC, and some of the somebodies couldn't even get in. He was going to Costco today. Oh yeah, okay. I gotta pull it. That's what I said. I was gonna bring it up. Let's bring it up. And Disney as well. You said Rags of it just listening to you at work. Okay, Dash is trash. Yes, I agree with you, Trucker 202. But I don't know why they buying it. They buy. I have a feeling tomorrow it breaks that high. Just the way it traded today. Kojo Cash, how do you feel about Fastly gap fill? Really? Once that stock crashed, and I was saying things Fastly, FSLY, right? It's been a while since I pulled that up. You said on the weekly? You said, how do you feel about gap on the year-to-date daily? Sorry, in the daily. I'm like, the weekly. Not bad. Not bad. It's right there in play with all of that, in the action, right? In the resistance area. And it's having no problem going right through there. They're not even selling it off. Yeah, it looks like it does want to fill that gap. It did it here. Look at right here. Let me pull it to here. Let's get rid of all these drawings. Right there. Almost the same thing. Boom. Went down some. Went down from the gap. It went down from the gap. Here, let me zoom that in so y'all can see. Went down from the gap to the low at 22%. And then it filled it. And way over here. How long was that ago? That was 64 days later. So from the top, from the gap to the bottom, that's 34%. That was a big one. And then if you would go from there to there, I'm just kind of with 64 days. 64 days, wow, brings you right here. It almost looks like that's what it wants to do, right? If you look at that timing, look at the way that looks. So basically, if it did what it did here, that means over here, it might fill. You never know. Look at the volume coming in there too. Wow. I do like it for the gap fill. I mean, once this thing did what it did here, I was just like, I never brought it up again. But yeah, something is going on. I don't know what's going on, but it looks good. It looks like a good chart. It was up today even, so it's up 6%. Something is going on with Fastly. No additional commentary at the time. Why Fastly stock? I'm just trying to look at some of the news. Yeah, something is going on, I think. But I think they definitely overdid it because if you remember, what it sold off because TikTok, they was losing, was it 10% of the company? Anyway, it was just a small portion of revenues that wasn't going to be right. And the thing sold off like down here 50% or whatever. Let's measure it. It was there to here. Yeah, 50% sell off just because a small little portion of their earnings wasn't going to be right. And I actually thought that this was going to be the way to all this. I just thought everything was going to start getting Fastly. And for the most part, a little bit it did. Some did, some didn't. You said, how do you feel about the SPY? Okay, yeah, we talk about that. Dash is trash. All right. Let's pull up SPY. And then I'll talk about Costco and Disney real quick. Oh, I did talk about it in the beginning. I said, I think we go higher. I think any pullback is buyable all the way until, for the most part, the inauguration. But I do think a sell-off is in the works because of the Biden tax plans. All right. So, yeah, I mean, it's a breakout right here. You see what's happening and kind of broke out. Let's watch when I come in a little closer to this. Let's go in the 4-hour. Right, kind of broke out. It came, checked back. See, I even got a circle for whatever reason. And then now it's taken off. So I actually like it. If you zoom in even closer, let's do that trend. Actually, it broke trend there. Trying to find a line. Well, if I were to draw that line, it broke it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I still like it. It's even that time of year. Even though, remember that one year we just had that vicious sell-off. Forgot what year that was. It was in Christmas time, and December 24th was the bottom. Christmas Eve, I believe. Yeah. When the hell was that? Was that right? That was right here. Yeah, that was right here. That was December 24th, 2018. So remember that sell-off? That was vicious. From September to December 24th, we was down 20%, from 19%. And then off to the races until 19 came along, and then boom, and then off to the races again. All right, so Disney reported, they talk about new company. They got I forgot, they had a whole bunch of subscribers to the, I don't like the service, by the way. What is it? That Disney Plus. What's weird is, I don't know. Yeah, they selling some subs, but come on, man. Half the business is closed. And how does it, I don't understand how it's at an all-time high. That's just mind-boggling to me. And how they get that pass? How they get a pass when, they parks is closed, half their force is laid off, and boats not sailing, hotels ain't full. I don't know. And just because you got some subscriptions that a lot of people are getting for free and it's pretty cheap, it's selling. You're all-time high. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I was in Disney. I think I sold it somewhere around 130, somewhere around here. And I was in it from about 100, somewhere around here, and I wrote it up to there. And now it's at an all-time high. I guess I should have held on to it. I think it's, I won't say expensive. I mean, people just, it's working. What could I say? It's working. It's gonna right now. It's trading at 159. It closed at 154, and the bid ask is at 159. So there it is. You said around the time I just started learning how to trade options. So I'm always trying to catch the whole ride down. It's hard to find that ride. I mean, that's where you really make the money, because them options premiums are exploding when things are going down. I can't. I have to trade bullishly most of the time. My bearish trades generally suck, or if I make money, I get out too quick. I can't ride them down. Something in me just doesn't let me ride it down, even though I feel negative. But yeah, that's where you make the most money on the downside. If you can wait and find that stock like a Fastly, when it got fast lead. So Costco, I think Costco just reported. I don't know anything about the earnings. I'm just looking at the charts. It's flat. I'm just looking. Yeah, look at the aftermarket right here. Let's detach this. I have it on here. Right there. Look at it. So, right, it went high as 378, as low as 369, and right now it's flat. So all them option buyers, you're crushed. Your premiums evaporated. Puts buyers and call buyers, your options went to zero. Unfortunately, we'll see what happens overnight. But yeah. So the winner on that was the strangles. I think when you sell the puts and you sell the calls, get all that premium. Yeah, that's Costco. So I think it was where is it at? I did see the numbers, but I forgot. It's on here somewhere. But heightened expectations. Okay, the fiscal Q1 sales rise 17%. Sales beat sees 86% e-commerce growth. That's huge. That's huge. When we go back to the stores and stuff and everything is normal, I don't think they stay at 80. Everybody that's blowing up their e-commerce, I don't know if it stays blown up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I almost think that we have heightened expectations of how things are going to be once we all go back to doing what we normally do. I don't think everything is just going to be the E way, if that makes any sense. I think we go back to the old way of we doing things. And Zoom, I just don't see us zooming, like that. Let me look at that. It was down big yesterday. Let me see. Yeah, Zoom is looking bearish on a monthly. Maybe people feel like me. This looks like it wants to break right there. Right there, you got the little H going. It looks like it wants to break. So be careful in Zoom. It could be a buy point as well. It did bounce. I'm looking at that last candle. Zoom in right here. Let's zoom in. See, it's bouncing. So you could be a buy point. But if it breaks that, I mean, it's right there. I feel it's going to break it. But, if you're bullish, that's the time to get in. You just trade against that low, right? Either this low or this low. Maybe a gap fills. I didn't even see this gap. Look at that gap. Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't see, if everything's back to normal, why would we Zoom? We're at work. So I think they had their moment. And we just see, so Peloton was up huge today. Now Peloton is a stock that I feel that I don't think it matters. It's a lifestyle. It's like Apple phones, right? You can easily buy a Galaxy cheaper than an iPhone, but people don't do it. You could buy all kinds of phones. You could buy a $150 phone and it's going to be damn near, it's going to do everything you need it to do. I'll just put it that way. But you don't do it. You still want to pay the $1,200 for an iPhone. So I think it's the same way. Yeah, you could buy a cheap exercise bike and get a workout in, but no, you want a Peloton. And I think it doesn't matter COVID, non-COVID. I think that that's what you want. It's just going to be like an Apple kind of thing. And once they realize that, well, I think the stock will be higher. I actually think somebody like an Apple or, well, Apple's trying to do their own fitness thing, but I think they could be acquired. You know, once it's proven that these guys are the real deal, you know, we'll see what happens. But I think they're the real deal. And I've been saying it ever since over here, right? All back in at 80, 90, I did a couple of videos on it. I think they're the real deal. So we'll see. I'm in it. I have the 100, 200 call spread on. Bought the 100 leaps, sold the 200 leaps. So it's a pretty big position. And I got 2 of those on. So I think let's say if it were to get to 200 in a couple of years, it would be like $30,000. But so I'm big. This is one of the stocks that I put on where I get rid of that. This is one of the stocks where I put on where you just sometimes I feel like you got to look out into the future, find that stock that's just gonna be the shit, like the next Home Depot, Walmart, Amazon, and just go ahead and get some calls on it. You know what I mean? And see what happened. Tesla was the one, right? I don't know how high Tesla goes. And we talked the other day about space. I think this is one that it just may be, right? I don't know. Nobody knows, right? But that's just how, go put a couple of home runs in your portfolio. It won't hurt. This could be the next Tesla. You never know. Any other questions? Also, how you feel about SPY? You said always thinking about February. Yeah. Did you hear that Trump might not even go to the inauguration? He's gonna maybe have a rally or some crap and try to split screen Biden's inauguration. Have something. Have the Air Force One, the plane's not even there for Biden across the country because I don't know, just being jerky. I gotta say this: if that truly happened, like we already know, but I'm not saying nothing new, but he don't care, but he never cared about the people of the United States. If you could do something like that, you don't care. You just care about yourself. That's selfish, right? You don't care about the people. If you do something like that, that's like super. I mean, I'm trying to think of something bigger than the selfish, but just jackassish, selfish. I mean, this is, come on, man. That's stupid. Anyway, this is dumb. A few more weeks left of dumbness. Anyway, I'm sorry I got a little political on that. Around the time I just started learning options trades. Oh, okay, I guess I got all your comments. All right, so thanks, Trucker202, for watching Rags to Riches. I know you're working in Cashmatic. You're always here. Jewelry Box is here. She was just here too. Now she's watching me. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video. I like doing pre-recorded. So when you see me do streams, I'm just really got no time and I'm tired. And I just want to press record and just start talking off the top of the dome. And I appreciate when you guys come in, but talking to me. And hey, remember, the link is in the description if you just want to jump on real quick. And yeah, that's it. To see what you want to talk about. You don't have to always hit me up on the text here. So I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, Dre Trades, Instagram, Dre Trades. Oh no, Neo. Gosh, I almost forgot. What the hell is happening in the after hours? So let's pull it over here. Look at that. Right? It was closed at 45.22, and then right here at 5 o'clock, boom, 42. So what is happening? Down 6% in the after hours. I'm kind of looking over here. Oh, here it is. Neo. This wasn't here. Neo joins Tesla and other rivals in rush to offer more shares. So they're going to sell more shares, just like Tesla did. But Tesla didn't. It went up. It went down and then went right back up. plans to sell 69 million fresh shares to the in the U.S. after competitor Tesla, Xpeng, Li Auto announced stock sale plans. Electric. It's almost like what's that word? I can't think of it. Sells at least 60 million shares, with an additional 9 million shares available to underwriters. NIO stock dropped more than 4% in the after hours. Yeah, so we talked about a trade on NIO. I had it on. I had took it off. I made a little bit of profit. I took it off. I didn't like the way it was trading. I can't remember. It was something to do with this bounce, right? I think it was right here. Yeah, it was right here. I can't remember. It was something to do with a bounce, and it just didn't bounce right. And I was like, I'm gonna take my profit now. But yeah, this thing is gonna open down 40 down here, 42. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll see if the shareholders, I remember like when DraftKings did it, boy, the stock, they did it at 6. The stock just kept going. I still remember the price. DraftKings did it at 52. It was right there, right here, right there, right where it went sideways, and then boom, look how far the stock dropped. Now it's kind of catching a little traction, and this one's looking. I thought it would go a little further, but I knew it would struggle in this area. Right, that's where they did that secondary. So it's the same. It's not necessarily the price point, the actual dollars. It's in that whole area, so it's a little struggle. Once it gets above that, if it can get out of here, I think this thing does reach the all-time highs. So it's been trading okay, but a little disappointed right there. See that candle? Look at that. Kind of came up here quick, and they sold it right off. They sold it off hard, and it reminded me of, and y'all can't see that. It reminded me of over here. So I'm like, oh man, come on. Chopper, you lost $1,000 on what? What was your trade? I've been losing. Like I tell you, I'm in the Facebook and Google. When y'all see those down, I lost. If it's seen it down hard, I lost thousands. If it's up big, I'm up thousands. And I went longer on Google, which, you know what? I really like the way it's trading, but I don't like the monthly. I don't know. I'm liking how it's holding this level. I'm thinking it is going to run into earnings, but I like it to go higher. But when you pull out the weekly, look, see, they got the breakout consolidation. I think it's going to break out. But when you pull up the monthly, it just looks like it's getting away, like it maybe needs to consolidate a little more. Looks like it's just a little too high because you don't see it. See these moving averages? Let me zoom in. See how far it is away from the moving averages? That's the 9-month and the 20-month. It doesn't, Google's not a stock to run away from those averages. See what happened here? See what happened here? Here. It doesn't, it's just not that kind of stock. It's not a Tesla. This is a stock that likes to just go with the moving average. So I guess you could, it's like a Microsoft. I think Microsoft trades the same way, kind of, before last year. It did take off. And see, actually, this one, on the monthly, this one is looking like it's consolidating, just coming right into the averages. This one could be a buy, setting up for a buy, right? It's coming. When's the last time it touched, right? Here, see that, and how it rocketed up in here, right? So it's getting ready to touch again. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Yeah, it's getting close, getting ready to touch again, and then you can get another run up. So this is a good area to accumulate Microsoft. I actually sold it. Not that because I don't like it, because I used the funds to kind of get into something else. Can't remember what I did. One more trade. Let's talk about Rocket. I put a trade in. I sold the 16s. I sold the 17s, bought shit, what the hell was it? I sold the 19s, bought the 17s. I think something is changing here. See, we got the lower, the low, high, lower, low, lower, high. And now I talked about it here. Let me zoom in. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? I talked about it here, and where I was like, uh-oh, I think we're going to go up. But no, it didn't. It just went sideways, came down, and came right back up. So this level is holding. And then after this, with the gap and everything, this one, this is definitely the low, okay? The other one was I was talking about an early trade. Now, when you pull out, see, that's a higher low from that low to that low. And I do think we could make a higher high. So I'm in a little early. And look at the stochastics looking good too. The volume. I mean, so that's the biggest volume on the daily since the stock opened up. So let's see. I think something could be brewing. Could be brewing in Rocket Mortgage. So I sold the put spread. Sold like 3 or 4 of them. I can't remember. Anyway, so I want to get calls, but I don't know. I want to see more. I want to see more. Okay, before I'm like just jumping into calls. Anyway, so hey, thanks, sweetheart. Says good video. SPX Rock. Yeah, I'm bullish on it. That will be the 3rd time Rocket if I talk about it. I'm bullish on it for the most part until mid-January, and then we'll see what happens. And yeah, the Qs. It's almost like, I hope it's not, it broke out and it's coming right back in. Qs are not looking like the, I like the SPY better. I tell you what's hot, and we talked about it. I was like the first to talk about it, man. The XME, the metals and minings, look at that. I mean, it's funny because when something works in this market, it's like the whole market goes there. You get these straight up little things. Look at that. I mean, something is working. So I talked about in the monthly, right? You can see this bottom here, and I think it can go a lot higher, metals and mining. Especially the Rio. Look at that breakout on the Rio, right? So it's been running, but it still has a lot of room to go. It's just now getting started, right? Let's look at the Valet. Same thing. All of these metals and mining. Let's look at Rio. I did Rio. Let's look at BH Billiton. Is that it? BH Billiton? Yeah, that's it. See, same thing, right? So you can get into all of these. Let's look at Cleveland Cliffs. Same here. It's not as strong as the others. Let's look at steel, Letter X. Just getting started. Even though it's been running hard, I've been selling puts on call. I got what do I got? I sold covered calls and selling puts, and the thing is just taking off. It's still early. All right, so yeah, there's still some stocks in that sector that I like. I was in those a lot earlier. I had sold out, but now I'm messing around with X. There's a lot of premium in there, selling those puts, trying to make some money. Good premium on these things, especially on a down day. If it can go down, that's when you can want to do it. But it's just been straight up. Look at that. Let's look at Freeport. Look at that. Damn, I didn't know Freeport was like that. Look at that, right? So there's definitely something here. This is where we could be playing at, all right? Because I believe it's because I'm not really good at why, but it's because I believe it's because inflation. I'm trying to think of that guy. I can't think of his name. Because inflation, but it's just been hot. And the economy, everything is kind of working, right? So we start to build and all that stuff, I just kind of find the trends, and that's what's working. Picked it out early. And when I did my, every once in a while I talk about, let's look at all the sectors, and that's what made me, I was like, wow, I really like that XME. I just like how it hit that lower. See, that's one of my cues to get in. When something's doing this and it starts going back up before it hits a low and it makes a higher low, I'll get in before it makes a higher high. I like that kind of action. And it was just looking good. So when you drill down into it and you start seeing the stocks that's in there, and I'm like, oh yeah, I see. Yeah, this thing wanting to go higher. And I'm in the XME too, by the way. So you don't have to play the individual stocks that I was just naming. You can get into an ETF, you know. I think these things can run on I think this is the real deal. You can see how it had its moments, right? None of them as steep as this, right? So I think this one might be the real deal. I don't know for sure. It's just a guess, especially if we get above here. I mean, see, this thing didn't really make a good higher high yet. That's why it still has a lot of room to go, you know. So see what happens. If it busts through that, it's going to start doing that hockey stick because everybody's going to really jump on it. Oh man, you said you always read all the comments for each sector on Yahoo. Okay, yeah, that look me stuttering. That'll do it if it works. Oh, you put it on there twice. And yeah, so that's it. So that's what I'm liking. I've been trying to focus a lot of attention on there. Yeah, just ride it out and to see. I mean, you could see just by looking at the past rallies when it gets going, it could go, right? It could go for a little bit. Looks like these has been, now it's about a year, half year, almost a year. There's a year and some, you know, so well, actually this started in April as well, but it's really starting to, I mean, shoot, everything started in April, but it's really starting to kind of catch some momentum right here in November. And just the month of November, this thing's up 40%. Wow. Since the month of November. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. Thanks for watching, everybody. If I got any new people watching, I appreciate you. Thanks for hitting the bell, subscribe, you know, all that stuff. And like I said, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, mainly Twitter, Dre Trades, right here on YouTube. Hit me in the comments. I respond to everybody. And I talk to you later. Peace.